What's up, guys? It's Dr. Jim. I am your CBD expert, your natural healthcare expert, and your worldwide virtual health coach. And I want to welcome you to tonight's live. Now, the topic for tonight is it's a big one. A lot of people over the last couple weeks have been really asking me questions about this. So I want you to know that we're going to be talking about the topic for tonight is CBD oil, Alzheimer's, diabetes, and inflammation. Even though you may think they're not connected, we're going to find out how connected they are and what role CBD oil may play in working with all of those, okay? So welcome to tonight. When you're coming on, please, if you would, put in the comments where you're coming in from and whether you're watching it live or on the replay. Because I want to know, are you getting the full energy of Dr. Jim live? Are you seeing it on the replay? But either way, I know that you're going to get everything I got tonight because I'm excited. This is one I've not been more excited about a live in a long time. This one I'm excited about. If you wait till the end, you are going to be part of the launch of the world's first, as far as I know, virtual online health program featuring CBD oil. So I want you to be a part of that. So hang on, and it's going to come out at the end. I'm super excited. So tonight's topic, CBD oil, Alzheimer's, diabetes, and inflammation, and how are they connected, and how might CBD oil be attached? Now, the disclaimer for tonight. Number one, I am not your doctor. You are not my patient. Nothing about this video constitutes doctor-patient relationship. So please do not change anything about what you're doing with your health based on something cool you heard Dr. Jim say on a video tonight. Okay? That's really important. Number two, the second disclaimer is I do not claim to diagnose, treat, or cure any specific disease with CBD oil. That's very important, okay? So I just want to get all those disclaimers out of the way so that we can dive right in, get into it. Alzheimer's, diabetes, and inflammation. How are they connected or not connected? And how is CBD oil might have an impact? Well, number one, let's start talking about Alzheimer's. Well, here in recent research, Alzheimer's has become or is being described now almost as type 3 diabetes. Now, why would Alzheimer's, a problem in the brain, be considered type 3 diabetes? Well, what they have found out in the research is that there is a large percentage of cases of Alzheimer's where the cause is insulin resistance in the brain. Now, let me tell you what that means. The cells in the brain need sugar to get into the cell to nourish them so they can do their job. And insulin's job is to help sugar get into the cell so the cell in the brain can burn it for fuel. Now, in insulin resistance, what happens is it no longer happens. Thank you. It no longer happens. You can no longer get the sugar into the cell. And guess what? If you have insulin resistance in your brain, over time, what happens is the cells in the brain can't get sugar in. They can't work the way they're supposed to. And literally the cells in the brain start to die. And that is where Alzheimer's and a lot of cases of dementia, and that's why they're calling it type 3 diabetes. Because the more insulin resistance, you can't get sugar into the cells, so they start to starve, and then you have higher sugar floating around in the brain, which causes oxidative damage to the cells. So that's Alzheimer's. Now, second, we're going to talk about diabetes, and because we're going to try to figure out how are these all connected. Well, let's start with what is diabetes. Well, diabetes is a point where your body can no longer get sugar into your cells, and the sugar in your bloodstream starts to go up. And it starts to get high. Well, it used to be believed that type 2 diabetes came about because eventually your pancreas started to wear down and it just couldn't keep up, and over time it made less and less insulin. Well, you know what they've really figured out is it's not that your pancreas doesn't make enough insulin usually, is that almost always type 2 diabetes is a problem with insulin resistance. That actually your body has been making so much insulin in response to what we've been eating. It's been making so much insulin over a long period of time that the cells have seen so much insulin that they no longer respond to it the way they used to. They become insulin resistant. Therefore, the sugar can't get into the cells, and as the sugar can't get into the cells, it starts to rise up in the bloodstream. But here's a unique thing about diabetes and insulin resistance. The truth is that insulin resistance is there. The most recent research is talking about is it's likely that insulin resistance is there, years and years and years before there's ever a breakdown in your blood sugar. Because this is what happens if your blood sugar may not go up, but insulin will take that sugar down to your liver and convert it into fat, and then that fat will get released back out into your bloodstream as triglycerides. So guess what? If you have high triglycerides, you have insulin resistance. It can store that sugar, convert that sugar into fat and store it in your liver. You can get a fatty liver, and if you have a fatty liver, you have insulin resistance. Okay, and also it can convert that into fat and then store that fat usually kind of right here. So if you've got sort of that big belly fat, lots of belly fat, spare tire kind of stuff, guess what? You also have insulin resistance. So that insulin resistance is often there a long, long time before your body can't regulate blood sugar. So that's really important. That insulin resistance is what ultimately leads to diabetes. And obviously, insulin resistance is also connected to Alzheimer's. All right? And then the third thing that we want to talk about is inflammation. Well, inflammation is really like gasoline on the diabetic fire. Okay? Inflammation is when your immune system starts to produce these inflammatory products, and it's usually your body doesn't do it for no reason. There's usually damage, and inflammation is your body's first thing to try to help deal with damage. But the problem is if the damage is ongoing all the time, then the inflammatory process just keeps going on, and then inflammation further drives diabetes. It further drives insulin resistance. And so inflammation throughout the whole body, it interferes with receptor sites. Okay? So you have receptors on all of your cells. You have insulin receptors. You often have not only insulin receptors, but you have vitamin D receptors. You have thyroid hormone receptors. You have all these receptors on all your cells, and inflammation from damage starts if you have a chronic inflammatory process going on, like an autoimmune condition or something like that. Those inflammatory cytokines start to interfere with your receptor sites, and guess what? Your insulin doesn't work the way it's supposed to, your thyroid hormones don't work the way it's supposed to, your vitamin D doesn't work the way it's supposed to, because you are literally blocking your receptor sites. So, Alzheimer's, diabetes, inflammation, all right? We can start to see how they're all connected. Well, what might CBD oil's role be in addressing these conditions? Now remember, we do not diagnose or treat or claim to cure any specific disease, okay? Because we're not actually treating this disease, all right? But if you go kind of below the disease and you look at what are some of the things that are driving it, we can affect those things. And that's ultimately what we're going to be looking at. So number one, CBD oil is neuroprotective, okay? Now, how do I know that? Well, I know that because the United States government knows that. The United States government got a patent on CBD oil for its antioxidant or its oxidative antioxidant effects and its neuroprotective effects. That's the U.S. government. Okay, that's not Dr. Jim sitting in his office saying, wouldn't it be cool if CBD oil was an antioxidant or a neuroprotectant? No, the United States government got a patent on it for those exact reasons. Now, why is that important? Well, let's think about what an antioxidant is. When damage happens in the body, when sugar is too high, when insulin is too high, when there's an inflammatory process, it creates free radicals. Okay, and the more and more free radicals floating around in the bloodstream, the closer and closer you get to a disease state, okay? So antioxidants go around and clean up free radical damage, all right? They clean up these free radicals or this oxidative damage that's happened. That's why they're called an antioxidant, all right? Well, CBD oil has been proven to be an antioxidant, I saw one said it's better than C and E, okay? And we know how important vitamin C is, so how cool is that CBD oil is an antioxidant? So it can literally help clean up free radical damage in the body, and we know in all of these conditions there's tons of free radical damage, all right? So it's neuroprotectant. Well, I certainly think that I want my brain protected, all right? Having a positive impact on your brain and protection, that's certainly going to help in conditions that are neurodegenerative, all right? It's going to, be neuroprotective and antioxidant. It's going to have an impact on inflammation. It's going to have an impact on diabetes. That's awesome. Number 2, it helps with insulin sensitivity, all right? I did a live before that we know that CBD oil helps lower insulin levels. It helps lower blood sugar levels. It helps with insulin sensitivity, and ultimately it helps cells use sugar more efficiently. Not only that, it helps increase the mitochondria in the cells. And we know that the mitochondria are the powerhouse of the cells. They help convert fuel into energy. And so you become more efficient at burning fuel, which certainly helps. So if you can help lower insulin and increase insulin sensitivity, and we just said that all 3 of those problems at their core have insulin resistance, well then that's a big deal. So we want to help with that. And then it has a positive impact on inflammation. This is one of the main things that everybody hears about CBD oil, is it has a positive impact on inflammation, right? I mean, a positive impact on inflammation. We talk about how the immune system can get imbalanced and that we can get these inflammatory products driving at a high level. And we know that CBD oil, with its impact in the ECS, or the endocannabinoid system, has a balancing effect on the immune system. So if you can have a balancing effect on the immune system, it can be very anti-inflammatory. So what's so cool is we can see through multiple different ways that CBD oil could have an impact in these conditions. So it's obvious that Alzheimer's, diabetes, and inflammation are all they're all linked, and they're interconnected. They're interconnected through insulin resistance. They're interconnected through oxidative damage, and they're the inflammatory process. All of these things interconnect them, and each one of them helps drive the other one. So we know that insulin resistance causes oxidative damage and inflammation. And we know inflammation can drive insulin resistance and oxidative damage. And we know that oxidative damage to cells makes them more insulin resistant and causes inflammation. So how in the world do we get off this merry-go-round? Well, a really good place to start, CBD oil. Because, why? Because it's antioxidant and neuroprotective effects. Because it helps with insulin sensitivity and helps lower blood sugar and lower insulin levels, and it helps your body utilize sugar more efficiently, and it increases the mitochondria in the cell, so you burn and create fuel better. And then third, that it has a balancing effect on the immune system. So that's really good in autoimmune conditions. It helps shunt and calm down the inflammatory response. All of these things help, okay? So that's how we get off that merry-go-round. That's a big, important part of getting off that merry-go-round. Now listen, I also want you to know that there is no way that you can just eat, just be on a steady diet of ho-hos and ding-dongs and expect that CBD oil is going to come and save you. That's not how your body works, okay? You can't just keep putting garbage into it and expect that you're just going to put some drops of this awesome oil underneath your tongue and it's going to fix everything, okay? And so that is why I saw a need, because I know that you really need to I think you got to use CBD oil, but you have to address your eating style, and there are very specific supplements to help balance the body in other ways that will only help what you're already doing with your eating style and CBD oil. So I saw this need. So what I did was I created, now as far as I know, you can check, but I think this is the world's first, okay, created by me, the very first in the world online metabolic transformation health program in the world featuring CBD oil. I do not think there is anyone else out there, okay? Now, this program was created to address CBD oil. If you already take it or if you don't, you can follow this program. It addresses the eating style that's going to help with inflammation and insulin resistance and balancing the body. It's going to give you specific supplements for exactly what your body needs, all right? And this program is for people that are having blood sugar problems, blood pressure problems, inflammation issues, autoimmune issues, literally digestive issues, literally all kinds of different issues with your health. This is the world's first online program. Now, this is what I want you to know, okay? What I want you to know is if you are interested in this program, okay? If you would like to radically transform your health with the help of CBD oil in the next 60 days, all you have to do is in the comments, type yes. Now, what's going to happen is when you type yes, you're going to get in Messenger, you're going to get a link, I think. If not, you might have to say yes twice, all right? Technology is not my best suit, so you're going to put yes in the comments. When you put yes in the comments, you will get a response through Messenger, and it should give you a link. And in that link, what it's going to do is you opt in and you can learn all about the program, okay? There's no obligations, there's no anything. You just, basically it's going to be me explaining the program to you and everything. Now, this is really important. I really, really want you, just go check it out, because if you're having health conditions, blood sugar, blood pressure, autoimmune, if you have any of those things, I want you to go in there, put yes, and when you put yes in there, you'll get a message. You might have to say yes back to that message before you get the opt-in. Go in, put your name and your email in, and then you are going to learn all about the program. It's the first in the world. I'm so excited. You can share it with people. If you get that link and you know somebody who's struggling, share it with them. Send it all over the world, man. Now, I also want you to know this. There's a little bit of a limit. Literally the first 100, you are my people, all right? I know you're my people. And so what I did is I'm limiting this initial release to the first 100 people. So I really want the first 100 of you to take action, get what you got, go through the process, see what it's all about. I hope it's a blessing to you. That is my goal in life. I want to be a blessing to you. I think we can make a really, really big change. Just go ahead and put yes in the comments, and it's going to send that to you. If you already get CBD oil, that's awesome. Like, this isn't me trying to sell you CBD oil. You already take it, or somebody else already sells it to you. That's perfect. It works great. If you are an affiliate or sell CBD oil, and you know somebody who has some health, they need a health transformation, and you already sell them CBD oil, you might be like, you know what? Here, watch this video. Go ahead and check in and see if this program is for you. Check it out. Dr. Holland would love it. Please share the video. Like it, love it, share it. I just want everybody to be a part of this. It's really gonna be a game changer, all right? In your health, in the world. I don't think that there's nothing like it. I hope everybody gets value. It's going to be excited. I mean, I've taken 20 years of clinical experience, all right? 20 years of clinical experience and hundreds of hours putting this together so that we could bring you the value, so you can make a life change. It's going to be amazing. It's going to work with CBD oil. If you already take it, awesome. If you can order it from me if you want, but you can also order it from whoever shared this video with you. So please share the video out to the world. Like it, love it, and thank you so much. So just remember, Alzheimer's, diabetes, inflammation. We don't try to treat or cure any specific diseases, all right? None of them. But what we do know is that underlying all of those is insulin resistance, oxidative damage, and inflammation. And how does CBD help with it? Well, CBD oil, according to the United States government's patent, is antioxidant. It's an antioxidant and neuroprotective. We know that it helps lower insulin levels and lower blood sugar levels and helps with insulin sensitivity and sugar utilization, increases mitochondria. And third, we know it balances the immune system, so it's great for people that have autoimmune conditions, inflammatory processes. And when you use CBD oil and you marry it with eating style and other specific supplements, just like in my program, it can make it's a game changer and a life changer. So if you want to radically change your health in the next 60 days and use CBD oil while you're doing it, now you don't have to, all right? So if you see this video and you don't take CBD oil, I'm going to highly recommend you do. But if you don't, you can still do it, okay? But I think you'll get better results with CBD oil, all right? So share it, like it, but if you want that program, if you want to hear about it, if you want to opt in for it, go ahead and put yes in the comments. I think it's going to make a big difference. Thank you guys for listening tonight. I hope you got some value. I know this video, yes, in the comments, but this video and this program, game changers, all right? Game changers. We're going to change the world with this. I need your help, so please put yes down there. And what I want everybody to know is, just like I tell my son every day before he goes to school, be your very best today. Hashtag never quit. And that I want you to know that I believe that God wants the very, very best for you. And the day you believe that, it'll change your life forever. God bless and have an awesome night.